Okay, we're doing a velocity versus time graph. Okay, this is the second part of your notes. We're going to start off with at rest. Okay, and what that looks like. So here's what the graph looks like. You got that. This is the zero line. I'm going to explain more about this. Okay, you want to put your arrow. This symbolizes that time is always moving this direction. Okay, so what does at rest look like on a velocity time graph? When you're not moving, your speed is 0. So this is where you'd be. You'd be on the zero line, okay? And this 0 is 0 meters per second or hours, minutes per hour. Not minutes per hour, miles per hour, whatever, okay? The next one is constant speed. So constant speed when you're moving at a continuous speed. And that looks like this. So you got your graph, looks like that. Remember, you got to have your 0. If you are going at constant speed, then that means, let's say, these are your numbers. 0 meters per second, 1 meter per second, 2 meters per second. All right, so let's just say you are going 1 meter per second, okay? This is no different than if you were driving in a car. If you're driving in a car and your speed is 30 miles per hour, then I'm drawing my speedometer. So this is kind of what it looks like. You got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, something like that. All right. If you're driving in a car and your speedometer is on the 50, and you're going 50 forever, you set it to cruise control, then it's going to stay on the 50. All right. It's the same here. This is going to stay on the 1. Okay. If you're changing speeds, then this little thingamabob here that I drew is going to be going through all of these before you arrive at whatever you're trying to get to, whatever speed you're trying to get to. All right? It's no different. So you're going to have a flat line. All right, so basically what this says here is if it's a straight horizontal line, then that equals constant speed. And I also made some notes up here. If this is ever on the 0 line, that means you're not moving. You're not going very fast. You're not going fast at all. Okay, the next one is accelerating. Accelerate, also known as speeding up. Okay. Oh, that's ugly. All right. So here is my number line. All right. I'm going to actually draw 2 of them because they're going to be different depending on where you're at. Okay, so remember 0 line, 0. Okay, so remember when I was talking about that speedometer in your car? Okay, so it's usually like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Okay, so let's say you're driving and you start off going 10 miles an hour, but you're changing your speed, then your little speedometer is going to change. Let's just act like this is actually moving. Okay, it's actually moving. So when you step on the gas, then it's going to pass through all of these until it arrives, boing, 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 on whatever it is that you're trying to get to. Okay, so what's actually happening is it's cutting through all of those numbers. All right, on the same way, let me move this out of the way. In the same way, on your graph, if I was to draw this number line, this is 0. Let's say that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the same way, if you are drawing what it looks like accelerating, and you have an arrow that's going diagonal like that, this is also cutting through all of these, kind of like it would on a speedometer. So to accelerate means your little arrow should be diagonal in whatever kind of way like that. It should be cutting through these numbers. Okay? So this is what it would look like if you were going, if this is, this is positive. I'm going to explain what that means. So positive or moving forward, okay? If you are accelerating the other direction, this would be negative or moving backward, okay? So let me go ahead and explain what I mean when I say positive and negative, okay? So first thing, let me get rid of that. In algebra, you guys are used to this, right? You're learning this now. You got this is positive, this is negative, positive, this is negative, negative, this is positive, negative, okay? And this is meaning the x, this is the y, okay? And this line is the y. Let me use a different color. This line is the y, this line is the x, all right? Well, let me help you out. In this class, we aren't using this side at all. Yay! We are only using this side, okay? So this is the number, this line right here is your timeline, and your time is only going to always be positive. Like, you can't have negative 5 seconds or negative 5 hours. You can only have positive time, all right? Anything that is taking place up here is going to be positive, all right? Meaning, if I have an arrow and it's up here, doesn't matter what it's doing, it could be doing this, it can be doing this, you know, it can be going sideways, it doesn't matter. It could even be coming towards, see, I got 1,000 arrows. Doesn't matter what's happening up here, it is moving in the positive direction. Positive meaning, it could be positive, could be forward. Whatever I tell you positive means, that's what it is, okay? And in this same way, if I have arrows down here, doesn't matter what they're doing, which direction they're going, anything that is occurring down here, it is negative, okay? Negative meaning the opposite of what's up here. So if forward is one thing, then backwards is the opposite of forwards, okay? It could also mean positive. Positive can mean east. So the opposite of negative would be west, all right? So it's whatever. Another way of thinking about it, let me erase all of this. Oh. Okay, another way of thinking about it is, let's say, if I am moving at a constant speed, now, this is the positive region, this is the negative region, and notice my arrow is up here. If I'm up here, I'm moving at a constant speed, and let's say that positive means forward. So that means my little person down here is moving forward, this direction, okay? Yay, he's moving. All right, but then all of a sudden, let's say I change things up a little bit, and this arrow goes down here. Now what happens? I was moving forward. I was moving forward for this period of time, but then at this time, I turned around, and my person turned around and is now facing this way and is now going that direction. That's all this means, okay? And the flat line, as you see over here, means this person's moving at a constant speed. If I changed it and I had it like this, then that means now my person is running. And which direction are they running? See, it's positive, right? And what does positive mean? Right now I'm telling you positive means forward. So that means my person is running this way, forward. They're running. That's all this arrow is telling you. They're running. But then let's say he drops down like this. And, okay, so now he was running forward for this period of time. Then he drops and he is now going this direction. And is he running or is he moving at a constant speed? Moving at a constant speed because it is a flat line. All right? The next one is decelerating. Okay. Also known as slowing down. Okay. So, drawing my graphs so you can see what those look like. Okay, so slow down. If this is the 0 line, this line right here, let me highlight it. If this is the 0 line, then anytime you have an arrow approaching it, then that would mean you're slowing down. Okay? So in this situation right here, this means that you are slowing down. In which region? Are you in the positive or negatives? Hopefully you said you're in the positive, or excuse me, this is positive, this is negative. So you are slowing down in the negative region, okay? And then this one right here, you are slowing down in the positive region, okay? That's basically what that means. So I'm going to write that just so people know. Slow down, negative. Okay, and it's negative because you are over here. You're in this area where the negative is at, all right? And this one is to slow down, and it's positive. which also means you're slowing down going forward. That's what that means. So you were going forward, like if you were in your car and you're driving and you're getting ready to stop at a light, then you're slowing down forward. But let's say that you were going this way. You were going forward, but then you turned around because you forgot you left your kids at school, like I've done. Psych, I haven't done that. Anyhow, and you slow down the other direction. That's all that means. This does not mean that you're turning around or you're, that you were like, okay, let me move this over real quick. This does not mean on one of these lines, if you're going up and then you went down. What does this really mean? This means that you were accelerating and then you slow down. That's what that means. That's all it means. Okay? So, to finish the notes, I'm just going to fill this in right here. I'm going to do it sideways. Sorry, look sideways. Diagonal lines equals speed increase or decrease. One of those two. Okay, and I'm done.